Hello students, let's start the new chapter ionic equilibrium as you have already studied in standard 11 about the equilibrium. Actually, what is the ionic equilibrium? So, the introduction of ionic equilibrium is when the equilibrium between ions and unionized molecule in solution is maintained is called ionic equilibrium. For example, H plus and OH minus ion and unionized water molecule. Whenever any substance dissolved in water, some ions are created and some undissociated molecules are remaining, which is unionized. So the equilibrium between ions and unionized molecule in solution is called ionic equilibrium. In ionic equilibrium, we are going to study first electrolytes and non-electrolytes. The substance which give rise to ions when dissolved in water are called electrolytes. Means any substance when you dissolve in water and it creates ion, it's called electrolytes. Similarly, the opposite is the non-electrolytes are those which do not ionize and exist as molecule in aqueous solution. I hope you all are clear this. Electrolytes means when electrolyte dissolve in water, it creates ion, and when non-electrolyte are dissolved in water, so it is not ionized, even it exists as molecule in aqueous solution. Electrolytes are of two types. One is strong electrolyte and another is weak electrolyte. Now, what is strong electrolyte? So, student, as first you have to clear, electrolytes means when dissolved in water, it gives rise to ions. And strong electrolytes means the electrolytes ionizing completely or almost completely, means they give completely ions in their aqueous solution or when they dissolve in water. Students, strong electrolytes ionized completely or almost completely, means they give more and more ions when dissolved in water or in aqueous solution. For example, strong acid, strong base and salt. Weak electrolyte, the electrolyte we dissociate to a smaller extent in aqueous solution are weak electrolyte. Both are the electrolytes, strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. Strong electrolytes give more and more ions in aqueous solution or when dissolved in water, and weak electrolytes give less number of ions in their aqueous solution. As you have seen, both are electrolytes, so both are dissociated in water, but strong electrolytes give more ions and weak electrolytes give less ions, less number of ions. For example, for the weak electrolyte is weak acid and weak base. Weak acid and weak base. Actually, the weak electrolyte dissociate only partially in aqueous solution. Strong electrolyte dissociate completely. Weak electrolyte dissociate partially. Student, dilute aqueous solution. Aqueous solution means the substance when dissolved in water, so it's called aqueous solution. And we are discussing here about weak electrolyte which dissociate only partially in dilute aqueous solution. Okay. The ionization reaction for weak electrolyte is represented by double arrow. You have already aware about the double-headed arrow or double arrow. So, the ionization reaction for weak electrolyte is represented as double arrow between the ion and non-ionized molecule. So, this is about the type of electrolyte. The next topic is, as you have seen, degree of dissociation. The symbol is alpha. Actually, the degree of dissociation of an electrolyte is defined as a fraction of total number of mole of electrolyte that dissociate into its ion when the equilibrium is attained. As I have already told you, it is denoted by alpha. Means alpha is equal to number of mole dissociated upon total number of moles. Means if you are taking 100 gram of substance and from 100 gram of substance only 25 are dissociated, so your alpha is equal to 25 upon 100. If you want to take percent dissociation of alpha, so the formula is percent dissociation is equal to alpha into 100. Students, remember, if C is the molar concentration of electrolyte, the equilibrium concentration of cation or anion is alpha into C mole per decimeter cube. It is for molar concentration of an electrolyte. So, your formula will be alpha into C and the unit is mole per decimeter cube. This is about the degree of dissociation alpha. The next topic is acids and bases. As you all are very well aware about the or familiar about the acids and bases, as you have already studied all concepts of acids and bases, which is with the litmus paper. When the substance turns blue litmus to red, it is acid, and when red to blue, it is base. There are different types of theories about the acids and bases which we are going to study in this chapter. So the first theory is Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. According to Arrhenius, first we are going to study acid. So according to Arrhenius, acid is a substance which contain hydrogen. Means any of the substance which contain hydrogen and give rise H plus ion in aqueous solution, it is called acid. Acid means contain hydrogen, and when dissolved in water means in aqueous solution it give H plus ion. See the example. HCl is a strong acid. AQ means aqueous or dissolved in water. The substance which is strong, it is represented by single-headed arrow. HCl is a strong acid, that's why we are using here single-headed arrow. It contains hydrogen and gives H plus ion in the aqueous solution. It means it is acid according to Arrhenius theory. Same here, as you are familiar about this compound, it is acetic acid. As a student, you have seen here we are using double-headed arrow, means it is weak acid. Acetic acid contain hydrogen and give rise to H plus ion in the aqueous solution. It means it is acid. So hydrochloric acid and acetic acid both are contain hydrogen and give rise to H plus ion in their aqueous solution. So according to Arrhenius, the compound which gives H plus ion in their aqueous solution is called acid. Students, Arrhenius describe H plus ion in water as bare ions, B-A-R-E, bare ions. They hydrate in aqueous solution and thus represented as hydronium ion, means H3O plus. We are here represented them as H plus ion. So always remember, Arrhenius describe H plus ion in water as bare ion. Now, according to Arrhenius, base is a substance that contain OH group and produce hydroxide ion in aqueous solution. Student, as you have seen, H plus ion produced in aqueous solution, OH minus ion produced in aqueous solution. So remember, whenever you are writing the Arrhenius theory, it is very necessary to write aqueous solution, in aqueous solution. Here again two examples are there. First example is NaOH, sodium hydroxide. As you have seen, single-headed arrow, strong base, give OH minus ion, means hydroxide ion. Same here, ammonium hydroxide, double-headed arrow, give hydroxide ion. Both are the bases. One is strong base, sodium hydroxide, another is weak base, ammonium hydroxide. They gives hydroxide ion, means OH minus ion, in their aqueous solution. So according to Arrhenius, both are the base. Students, Arrhenius theory accounts for properties of different acid and bases and is applicable only to aqueous solution. But Arrhenius theory does not account for the basicity of ammonia, sodium carbonate, which do not have OH group. Means Arrhenius theory does not explain about the basicity of ammonia, means NH3, and sodium carbonate. NH3 does not contain hydroxide ion, means ammonia, and Na2CO3, sodium carbonate, also does not contain hydroxide ion, but both are basic in nature. So Arrhenius theory does not explain anything about the basicity of ammonia and sodium carbonate. The next theory is Bronsted-Lowry theory. According to this theory, acid is a substance that donates a proton. Proton means H plus. I am again explaining it. According to Bronsted theory, acid is a substance that donates a proton, means H plus, to another substance. And base is a substance that accepts a proton, means H plus, from another substance. As we can understand this concept by using this reaction. See, HCl is acid, contain H plus, and HCl donate its H plus to NH3. So NH3 is the base because it accepts proton. HCl donate proton, NH3 accept proton. So HCl is the acid and NH3 is the base. Similarly, when HCl donates its proton to NH3, it will become NH4 plus. And what is remaining here? Cl minus. Now see here. Now NH4 plus contain proton and it can donate this to chlorine. Students, see here, HCl contain proton and HCl donate its proton to NH3. So HCl is the acid and ammonia is the base. After donating the proton, only chlorine is remaining, so it will become base, and ammonia contain H plus. After accepting a proton, ammonia contain ammonium, means NH4 plus, so it will become acid. The substance which donate proton, it is acid, and which accept proton, it is base. Similarly here, the substance which is donate proton means H plus, it is acid, and which accept proton means H plus, it is base. So according to this theory, acid is a substance that donates proton, means H plus, to another substance, and base is the substance that accept a proton H plus, from another substance, which is easily clear by this reaction. HCl and NH4 plus are proton donor and act as acid, and NH3 and Cl minus are proton acceptor and act as base. Students, the base which is produced by accepting the proton from an acid, it is nothing but a conjugate base of that acid. I am again explain it. The base which is produced by accepting the proton from an acid is the conjugate base. Of that acid. Similarly, the acid which is produced when base accept a proton is called conjugate acid. For example, see here, HCl is a acid. It gives proton to water, so it will become H3O plus. It will become acid. It means H2O and H3O plus both are conjugate acid base pair, and HCl and Cl minus both are again conjugate base pair. First, HCl is the acid which donate proton to H2. HCl is the acid, it donate proton and become base. So this acid and this base are conjugate pair. H2O is the base because it accepts proton from HCl and become H3O plus means hydronium ion. So these are conjugate acid base pair. Same here we can understand by this. HCl is the acid, it's donate H plus ion and become base. So HCl and Cl both are conjugate acid base pair. NH3 is the base, it accepts proton and become acid NH4 plus. So these are conjugate acid base pair. I hope you can understand what is conjugate acid base pair. The next theory is Lewis theory, or you can say Lewis theory. According to this theory, acid is any substance or any species that accept a share in an electron pair, and base is a subspecies that donates a share pair of electrons. Means electron concept is there. In Bronsted theory, proton concept is there. Acid donate proton and base accept proton. In Lewis theory, electron concept is there. Acid accept electron pair and base donate electron pair, which you can easily understand by this reaction as you have already known, nitrogen containing lone pair of electron. So acid accept shared pair of electron, as you have seen in this reaction. H plus means acid which accepts shared pair of electron, and NH3 is the base which donate shared pair of electron. Same here. Boron trifluoride which accept electron pair from ammonia. So according to Lewi's theory, acid is any species that accept shared electron pair, and base is any species that donates shared electron pair. Student, these are the three theories about acid and bases. I hope you can understand this theory easily. The next topic in this chapter is amphoteric nature of water. Actually, what do you mean by amphoteric nature? Amphoteric nature means water has the ability to act as an acid as well as a base. This behavior is known as amphoteric nature of water. Means when water reacts with base, it acts as acid, and when water reacts with acid, it acts as a base. So the ability to act as an acid as well as a base is called amphoteric nature. See the example here. Water reacts with ammonia. Ammonia is nothing but a base. So it means water reacts with base. That's why it is act as a acid. In second reaction, water reacts with a acid. That's why it is act as a base. Simple concept is there. Water here acts as acid, means it gives H plus ion. When water gives H plus ion, so according to Arrhenius, it is acid. It gives H plus ion to NH3. NH3 will become NH4 plus, and water will become OH minus. So here water is act as a acid because it donate proton. It donate proton to another substance. Student, I am repeating here. Water act as an acid. So according to Bronsted theory, water here donate its proton to NH3. NH3 will become NH4 plus, and water donates its proton. That's why OH minus ion is remaining here. So the substance that donates proton to another substance is called acid. Same here, water accept proton. So according to Bronsted theory, the substance that accept a proton from another substance is called base. So here water is act as an base because water accept proton from HCl. So whenever water react with the base, it acts as acid, and whenever water react with acid, it acts as base. This property of water is called amphoteric nature. Therefore, water is amphoteric. I hope you understand what is amphoteric. The next topic in this chapter is ionization of acids and bases. Acids and bases are classified as strong acid, strong base, weak acid and weak base. How they are classified? So on the basis of their extent of dissociation. For example, when any acid is completely dissociated in water or any base is completely dissociated in water, so these acids and base are called strong acids and bases. It means strong acids and bases are almost completely dissociated in water. See the example: HCl, aqueous, dissociated H plus ion plus Cl minus ion. It is dissociated completely, that's why it is a strong acid. Another common example is NaOH. NaOH is the base. It is also completely dissociated in Na plus and OH minus ion. That's why it is a strong base. Typically, strong acids are HCl, means hydrochloric acid, HNO3, nitric acid, H2SO4, sulfuric acid, etc. Strong bases: NaOH, sodium hydroxide, and KOH, potassium hydroxide, etc. So these are the strong acids and strong bases which are almost completely dissociated in water. Now, weak acids and weak bases are partially dissociated in water. Means the solution of weak acids or weak bases contain undissociated molecule along with a small number of ion at equilibrium. Student, always remember, acid which give H plus ion in their aqueous solution, either it is strong or weak. Base which give OH minus ion in their aqueous solution, either it is strong or base. Only the difference is strong and weak acid. So strong acid give more H plus ion in their aqueous solution, and weak acid give less number of H plus ion in their aqueous solution. Means strong acid almost completely dissociated in water and weak acid partially dissociated in water. Strong base give more number of OH minus ion in their aqueous solution. Weak base give less number of OH minus ion in their aqueous solution. Means strong base almost completely dissociated in water and weak base partially dissociated in water. See the example of weak acid and weak base. As you have seen, for strong acid and base we are using single headed arrow, and for weak acid and base we are using double headed arrow. So these are the example. For weak acid, we are using here simple acid, acetic acid, and for weak base, ammonium hydroxide. These are the about ionization of acids and bases. The next topic is dissociation constant. The dissociation constant of weak acid or weak base is defined as the equilibrium constant for dissociation equilibrium of weak acid or weak base respectively. It is very simple term. For example, first we are using weak acid. We are taking a general reaction for weak acid, HA, aqueous. As it is a weak, that's why we are using double-headed arrow. As it is the acid, it produces H plus ion in aqueous solution and plus A minus ion. This is the general reaction for weak acid. Now, the equilibrium constant called acid dissociation constant, it is denoted by Ka. Ka means acid dissociation constant, and the formula is concentration of product upon concentration of reactant. As you have seen, square bracket is there, which is nothing but a sign of concentration. So the formula of K is Ka is capital K and small a. For general reaction of weak acid, the formula of Ka means acid dissociation constant is concentration of H plus into concentration of A minus upon concentration of Ha. Similarly, when we are using weak base, the general reaction of weak base is BOH aqueous reversible to B plus aqueous OH minus. Only in place of Ka, we are using here Kb, capital K, small b. Kb is nothing but a equilibrium constant called base dissociation constant. Formula is same, concentration of product upon concentration of reactant. Means concentration of B plus concentration of OH minus upon concentration of BOH. Forward reaction we are considering here. So these are the information about dissociation constant of weak acid and weak base, which is denoted by Ka and Kb. Now the next topic is Ostwald dilution law. Ostwald dilution law is used for weak acid and weak base. First, we are consider weak acid. So just take an example, general reaction of weak acid, Ha. As we have already studied, weak acid which exists in solution partially. Taking an example, general reaction Ha aqueous, it gives H plus and A minus ion. The acid dissociation constant for this reaction, as we have known, Ka, it's give concentration of H plus, concentration of A minus upon concentration of H. Student, we are discuss here Oswald dilution law. First, we are using here weak acid. We are taking general reaction of weak acid, in which weak acid is represented by Ha, and it is partially ionized H plus aqueous plus A minus again. For this general reaction, the acid dissociation constant Ka is equal to concentration of H plus, concentration of A minus upon concentration of H. Now students, suppose that we are using the quantity of Ha, means weak acid, is 1 mole. Okay, means 1 mole of acid, and the acid is nothing but Ha. So 1 mole of acid Ha is initially present in volume V decimeter cube of the solution. Means we are using the solution which is having the volume V decimeter cube. Understand all of you? We are taking a solution having a volume V decimeter cube. In this V decimeter cube of solution, we are taking 1 mole of acid Ha. So at equilibrium, the fraction dissociated will be alpha. Means alpha is the degree of dissociation of acid, and the fraction of acid that remain undissociated is 1 minus alpha. I am repeating here, student. We are discussing here Oswald dilution law for weak acid, and we are using Ha as a general weak acid having a reaction Ha aqueous reversible to H plus aqueous and A minus aqueous. Then we are writing here acid dissociation constant formula for weak acid Ka, concentration of H plus, concentration of A minus, concentration of Ha. Then we are suppose here we are taking V. V means volume V decimeter cube of the solution having 1 mole of acid Ha. So the acid which is dissociated is alpha, and which is remains undissociated is 1 minus alpha. I hope you understand this topic. Just see this table so you can understand easily. Just see here reaction Ha aqueous. Here no dissociation is carried out. We are taking just Ha. So the amount which is present at equilibrium per mole is 1 minus alpha. When it is dissociated in H plus and A minus, so amount is alpha. Always remember, degree of dissociation is alpha, and the amount which is remains undissociated is 1 minus alpha. So Ha aqueous is undissociated here. That's why it is 1 minus alpha. And when it is dissolved in water, so it is partially dissociated in H plus and A minus. That's why it is alpha. When these terms you are taking in concentration, means concentration at equilibrium or mole per decimeter cube, so it is divided by volume. means 1 minus alpha upon V, then alpha upon V, and then alpha upon V. Why this term? We are dividing by volume because we are taking here concentration, and the formula of concentration means C. C is equal to, concentration means C, or the formula of concentration is number of moles upon volume, means C is equal to N upon V. So here number of mole is 1 minus alpha and volume is V. So the formula of concentration is 1 minus alpha upon V. Here number of moles is alpha and volume is V. So formula of concentration is alpha upon V. Same here also. Now see here, it is the concentration of HA. It is the concentration of H plus. It is the concentration of A minus. That's why at equilibrium, concentration of HA is 1 minus alpha upon V mole per decimeter cube. Concentration of H plus is alpha upon V mole per decimeter cube. Concentration of A minus is alpha upon V mole per decimeter cube. This all the values, when we put all these values in equation 3.3 means Ka. See this equation, this is the 3.3. So in place of HA, concentration of H plus, we are using alpha upon V. In place of concentration of A minus, again we are substituting alpha upon V, and in place of concentration of HA, we are substituting 1 minus alpha upon V. So this formula will be changed as Ka is equal to alpha upon V into alpha upon V upon 1 minus alpha upon V. Here, when we simple this formula, so it will become alpha square upon V square upon 1 minus alpha into V. Alpha square upon V square upon 1 minus alpha upon. Student, when you simple this formula, alpha square upon V square upon 1 minus alpha upon V. So this V will be cancelled by this V square, and what is remaining on numerator is alpha square upon V upon 1 minus alpha. And when you simple this, so the formula will become alpha square upon 1 minus alpha into V. I am repeating here, alpha square upon V square divided by 1 minus alpha upon V. This V will be cancelled by this V square. So in numerator, what is remaining here? Alpha square upon V, and in denominator it is 1 minus alpha. When you simple this term again, so you will get alpha square upon 1 minus alpha into V. Now if C is the initial concentration of acid in mole per decimeter cube and V is the volume in decimeter cube per mole, so C is equal to 1 upon V. So in place of 1 upon V, we can use here C. So your formula will be Ka is equal to alpha square C upon 1 minus alpha. C means 1 upon V means C. 1 upon V means C, concentration. For weak acid, alpha is very small. That's why 1 minus alpha is nearly about to 1. So formula will be Ka is equal to alpha square upon V. From this equation, we are suppose here 1 minus alpha is equal to 1. So formula is K is equal to alpha square upon V. Or from this equation, Ka is equal to alpha square into C. Why? Because for weak acid, alpha is very small. That's why 1 minus alpha is equal to 1. If 1 minus alpha is equal to 1, it means this formula will be changed into Ka is equal to alpha square upon V. And this formula will be changed into Ka is equal to alpha square into C. Now, whenever you are taking the formula of alpha, so it will become alpha is equal to root Ka upon C, or alpha is equal to root Ka into V. So these are the nothing but a formula for Ostwald dilution law for weak acid. From these two formula, we can imply that degree of dissociation of weak acid, degree of dissociation means alpha, for weak acid is inversely proportional to square root of concentration C, or degree of dissociation of alpha is directly proportional to square root of volume V of the solution containing 1 mole of weak acid. Same here, we can apply Ostwald dilution law for weak base. Whole the procedure is same. We are using here general weak base BOH, and general reaction is BOH aqueous partially dissociated in B plus aqueous plus OH minus aqueous. Base dissociation constant formula Kb is equal to concentration of B plus concentration of OH minus upon concentration of BOH. Alpha means fraction dissociated means alpha, and remain undissociated is 1 minus alpha. So from the reaction, it is clear that BOH is undissociated means 1 minus alpha, B plus is dissociate means alpha, or OH minus is dissociate means alpha. Which is dissociate, it is alpha, which is undissociate, it is 1 minus alpha. Now taking this term in concentration, N upon V, so it will become 1 minus alpha upon V. Concentration of B plus means alpha upon V, and concentration of OH minus means alpha upon V. Put this value in this formula. So your formula will be Kb is equal to concentration of B plus means alpha upon V, concentration of OH minus means alpha upon V, and concentration of BOH means 1 minus alpha upon V. So formula will become in this type. Kb is equal to alpha upon V into alpha upon V upon 1 minus alpha upon V. Same solution is there, alpha square upon V square divided by 1 minus alpha upon V. This V volume will be cancelled by this V square. So your formula will be alpha square upon V upon 1 minus alpha. When you simplify this, so you will get alpha square upon 1 minus alpha into V. All the formula is same. Same here we are using the general base means BOH, means in place of HA we are using BOH. In place of H plus we are using B plus. In place of A minus, we are using OH minus. Same here, amount undissociated 1 minus alpha. Dissociated amount is alpha. When we are using in concentration term, so 1 minus alpha will become 1 minus alpha upon V, and alpha will become alpha upon V. Same, we are taking a 1 mole of base in 1 mole of base BOH is initially present in volume V decimeter cube of the solution. So weak acid and weak base both are having the same procedure for the formula. Similarly, Kb is equal to alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. Alpha square C upon 1 minus alpha. C means 1 upon V. 1 upon V means C. From this formula, Kb is equal to alpha square upon 1 minus alpha into V. As we have already studied, for weak acid, alpha is very small. So 1 minus alpha is equal to 1. Similar concept we are using here. For weak base, alpha is very small. That's why 1 minus alpha will be equal to 1. So the formula is Kb is equal to alpha square upon V, or Kb is equal to alpha square into C. When we are taking the formula for alpha square, so it will be alpha is equal to square root of Kb into V, or alpha is equal to square root of Kb upon C. Means the degree of dissociation of weak base is inversely proportional to square root of concentration and directly proportional to square root of volume of the solution containing 1 mole of weak base. So this is about the nothing but a Ostwald dilution law for weak acid and weak base. For today's lecture, it is enough for today's lecture. In the next lecture, we will study auto-ionization of water. I hope you understand all this concept clearly. Thank you.